Are you tired of Instagram hacks that just don't work? Well, there's a few new actual algorithm hacks that will help you grow your account faster than anything else. And I guess if you have at least 10 minutes per day, or just 10 minutes more than usual, you'll see some real results. Talking about working smart, not hard. But basically, if we talk about Instagram growth, there's more or less 4 factors that contribute to organic growth and the algorithm recommending you. Quality content, post frequency, trust score, and social signals. So the first step, if you're a little smart about it, which I hope you are, should be to identify which of these you need the most work on. First of all, talking about quality content should be a given, hopefully. And, I have to repeat myself at times because it seems like a lot of people don't really understand what that actually means, talking about the algorithm behind there. If your content really is in line with what your audience wants, you will get some organic reach. And the more of these quality posts that you make that get the right amount of engagement, quality engagement from the right people, the more you'll get recommended. So, and this is the actual hack, every other week you should do some form of survey using story stickers, for example, polls and the Q&A stickers that lets you understand what your audience is actually here for. Kind of have a real face-to-face interaction with them. Ask them about your content, what they want, specific questions that make it easier for you to truly understand your audience. And that's another thing, talking about, especially in 2020, whenever I say the word audience, or whenever I say the word algorithm, actually, you can just switch it out with audience, because basically it's more or less the same thing now, talking about getting reach and stuff like this. So take a few minutes of your day every other week to truly understand what your audience wants, and then experimenting with exactly what they said and try to put out content specifically cater to what they told you. Coming from that, the second thing is actually the post frequency. Let's just say if you post once every week, which is, by the way, not enough if you're looking to grow, not at all, but you might want to spend some time to figure out a way to create more using almost the same amount of time that you have. So how are you going to do that? For example, batch creating content, maybe outsourcing it and have some people help you, or, and that's the big thing here, repurposing content. So let's just say you have some educational reels. First of all, you can create very similar content without having to do a lot more research in the same get-go and just schedule them for next week or the next 2 weeks or something like this. Or you can literally take the very same information and create a cool carousel with that and some stories as well. And if you're like, well, Dominic, is this just a lazy thing? Won't people hate me for that if it's literally the same information? Actually, no, my friends, because the approach is different. The content comes from different angles and people are just different. Some people are into visual things and videos, and some are into just reading, and some want different things on different days because you're not the same person every day. So by diversifying that and repurposing it, you'll serve the maximum possibility of reaching new people because you just have so many more channels, angles to, for people to consume that. And that's basically what we want. Now, if you're like, all right, I got all of that, but there's still some things that are not really working and I don't know why. In that case, it could be the dreaded trust score. It's not an official term, but doing tons of research about the Instagram algorithm, we figured out that they basically allocate you some trust factor that shows you how good of an account you are. Basically how valuable you are to the Instagram platform, as well as their safe space community. And to be honest, in this whole thing, there's lots of errors and glitches happening, especially recently. I get lots of DMs of people who seem to have posts just taken down randomly. They post a picture of a mug and it just gets taken down for community guideline strikes or something like this. So errors are happening. Seems like errors are happening a little bit more than usual, which means they're right now changing up some things or experimenting some things. Don't worry about that. However, whenever you get the post taken down or whenever you do something wrong, you'll get some flags. And whenever you get one of those flags, your reach will decrease. Now, some flags are permanent. I'm pretty sure about that. Some flags go away with time. And by time, I mean sometimes a lot of time, months, maybe even a year. Sometimes. And some flags, you can actively do some stuff to make them go away faster. And this is what we're focusing on here, like removing some of your followers. Yeah, sounds a little bit counterintuitive, but that could be different things. For example, removing ghost followers, whether it's fake followers that you bought, bad person, don't do this, or somebody else bought for you. Don't get the wrong idea, people. Don't do this for other people. Not speaking anymore about that. I don't want to give people the wrong ideas, so I already spoke too much. Oh no. Anyway, whether this happens, you should remove them. Taking a few minutes a day to go through your follower list and checking whether there are some random bots there. You know, you can see this pretty quickly when you scroll through your followers. And just removing them will actually go a very long way. Now, in my agency Maverick, MVRQ, we've come up with a safe analyzation and removal process that actually gets people quite good results, increasing their reach by removing those fake followers, for example. Link is in the description in case you're wondering. But removing just ghost followers or mass followers, it's not all. Because when deciding who to show your content to, the algorithm takes a look at your audience, and then it tries to figure out what all of those people have in common. And then they look for people outside of your follower circle who have basically the same attributes. And this overlap is basically what you want to aim for. Basically, essentially what quality content actually is. You know, content that's tailored exactly to those people. Now, if your audience is scattered all over the place, you know, like I said, with ghost followers, for example, or, and that's the other thing, followers who are not at all interested in your content or in your content anymore. You know, things could change. The world changes. Your content could change. People change, you know? Basically, it's a big change. But if that is the case, it's probably still best to clean them out every once in a while, because they will just clutter up your algorithm. The algorithm will see them and it will be confused. It will be like,
well, I don't know.
So, you know, removing people, even real followers, might sound counterintuitive from time to time, but just removing a bunch of people every week can go a long mile. Now, here's the thing. First of all, be careful not to remove too many of those followers at the same time, because doing this too fast will actually just give you another flag, which is kind of bad, which is actually pretty bad, but that's a whole nother topic. I'll make another video about that. Or, and this is another thing that you can do, you can just make a post or a story saying, well, here's the thing, this is what my content is about. Maybe it has changed since when you followed me the first time. So, you know, maybe it would be the best if you would unfollow me if you don't really care anymore, if you don't really like my content anymore. And you just tell them this. Sounds a lot really counterintuitive again, but like I said, these are the things that actually make a difference. Lastly, one important factor of getting recommended are what I call social signals. Basically, real quality engagement signals. And within our 10-minute time frame, for example, that we've set, that we didn't really set ourselves, but now we did, we want to increase those social signals, those quality interactions as much as possible. Now, there's actually different ways to get those social signals. First of all, you can get them within the app, obviously internally. And one thing that many people forget is externally. We're going to talk about that right in a second. First of all, internally, which is obviously the easiest, and what you want to do is to get people to come back to your profile after you engage with them. You know, basically the attention phase of the Reels challenge that we have on this channel. In short, going to relevant hashtags and commenting something meaningful on, you know, hashtags or people who engage with your direct competitors. And some people will, if you actually have those meaningful comments and a good profile picture as well, they will come back and check out your account. And if you've optimized your account and all the other things that are just too much for this video, they will maybe even follow you, which is exactly what you want. Now, that's the one thing that you can do. You know, basically watch the Reels challenge video, which you should do anyway if you haven't done it, or do it again. You know, people have been getting great results with that. The other thing is actually what I said lots of people forget is the external method. And ideally you switch the internal and external up every other day or every other week. What I mean with that is posting and linking your content on another platform. You know, best would be, for example, Pinterest, you know, especially if you have some infographical things, information things, or also inspirational. Basically, there's some orders, but make it a habit to share all of your posts that you have on Instagram, except for Reels, to Pinterest, and maybe even write something short about that with a call to action to make them check out your Instagram. And people have been growing like crazy just doing this, you know, because they're helping out the Instagram algorithm figure out who the ideal audience is. So you can have two things. First of all, getting new external people in from Pinterest. Second of all, those people who come in, because Pinterest's algorithm, I think, is a little better talking about content, actually. And those people who come are actually a very specific niche, and the algorithm looking at those signals will actually know,
wow, now I know what's going on. Thanks, Pinterest. Thanks, Obama.
But basically get creative with this. You know, it doesn't have to be Pinterest. You know, it could be also make some collaborations on Instagram or on some other platforms with people that share the same audience as you and so forth. So if you're smart, I'm sure you can think of some things, my friends. And the next thing you should do in order to grow like crazy on Instagram is go through this video and participate in the Reels challenge. Like I said, people have been getting crazy results just doing what I talk about in this video.